Sorry, this is the best I can do.
No,
Um,
it's okay. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can get you through the phone.
Okay, cool.
All right. And welcome back to Before Nashville, where we're introducing the country stars of tomorrow to the country fans of today. And it's looking a little different tonight, and I apologize. Technical issues. I don't know. Everything's supposed to make our lives so much easier. I'm trying to turn my phone here so I can see what's going on. Everything's supposed to make our lives so much easier, but for some reason, it seems to make it so much harder. I don't know.
It's true. Definitely
I
true.
I just don't get it. But I've got Chandler Stephens with me tonight. Chandler is originally from Florida,
Yes,
and she is now in. Are you in Nashville right now?
I am. Yes.
All right. So now you're in Nashville. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
get you back on here now. I couldn't hear her a while ago, and I'm trying to figure out how to. I
Yeah.
have nowhere to place my phone. I'm not set up for this. It's like a weird little way to do this. I don't know. Let me see if I turn that down. But you said you are in Nashville now,
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
and you are on a career of chasing a musical dream. Tell me a little bit about Chandler Stevens early on. What got you to where you are now?
Well, I mean, I've always loved music. I started singing at like 3 years old in church and like the children's choir, and I just loved music and I loved singing. So, but I think as I got older, I never really saw it as a career option. I was just like, oh, I really love this. Like, let me figure out something else I can do, with my life. Even though I love this, let me just, And I come from a really big family with a lot of adopted siblings. So
Mhm.
I was like, psychology seems interesting to me. Maybe I'll go be a counselor. So I went to college for like a year. Yeah, it was a year. And I did some musical stuff like while I was there. And I was like, this is just not cutting it for me. Like, I really want to try to do music because I don't want to wake up one day and be like, why did I never try? So I moved to Nashville like of May of 2000, who, no, 2013, May of 2013. I moved to Nashville.
Wow.
Yep.
And now I was reading about you talked about your family, and again I
Yes.
apologize for the jerkiness of this video on my end, but I'm trying to do it the best I can.
Yeah, yeah.
But you talked about your family, and you do come from a very large family. You have three blood siblings.
Two. No, one.
Two.
One blood sibling. And then I'm
Okay.
bisexual as well, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it said a family of four, and I was thinking there were four kids and your mom and dad, but it's your mom, dad, and you have one sibling,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there are 14 other adopted brothers and sisters that you have.
Yes. Yes. That's right.
What in the world was that like growing up?
Well, I mean, it was definitely crazy. It was definitely chaotic for sure. I mean, that many people in a house, like you always have drama. I mean, between siblings, always. Um, but I mean, I think also it was cool because I was never alone. I always had somebody to talk to. I always had somebody to play with, so I never I never felt alone, which was nice. But
Right.
yeah.
Was that difficult as you were like getting into the music? Because I mean, how old were you when you first started doing music?
I mean, I think I was excited to do it, but then I moved here and all I had known was really living with a bunch of people. So when I
Right.
moved here, I moved all by myself. And I was like, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love being like where it's quiet and like it's not chaos, like I'm all alone. And I actually didn't. I really missed all the noise because I think I was just so used to it that it was kind of lonely at first. I think moving here, and I went home a lot for sure. And my parents came up a lot,
Right.
um, but afterwards, I mean, it was a transition for sure. But I mean, I love living in Nashville, and I mean, just part of growing up, I guess, you know?
Right. So one question I have to ask, since there are so many, what are the age ranges of the kids in your family?
Okay, so the youngest is 10 and the oldest is, oh, how old is he now? I want to say 38. He's close to 40. So
Wow.
it's a large range.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one's like a great aunt or a great uncle at 10 years old. I mean, they're already, you know, their nieces or nephews are already having kids.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. So what's the one memory family-wise? I want to stick with the family for a minute. What's one of the biggest memories you have with a family that size?
Oh, I would say there's a lot of different things. One of the biggest memories, I guess, I mean, everywhere we went, we had this big bus van thing that we would all like travel in. And a lot of people would get sick because it was, you know, you don't see, like, there's windows, but like when you can't see the front, you know, a lot of people get car sick in my family. So we went skiing one year and we were going up the mountain and everybody took like these the Dramamine pills, you know. But I guess still some people got sick. I remember pulling on the side of the road. Like my sister got sick in the vehicle. We're out like on the side of the road with this huge van. Like all of us, like my sister's puking on the side. It was not great. But it's like going to church in that van. I don't know. It was always very noticeable everywhere we went because it was a bunch of kids getting out of this really big van and you're like, what is happening? Is this summer camp? Like what's going on? But yeah, I just remember the really big van. I remember the really big van and we went everywhere in that van.
Did you get a lot of odd looks from people when you rolled up in something like that? Like it was a church youth group or something?
Yeah, they're like what is happening? Even like going to like Chick-fil-A or, you know, like drive-throughs, things, like everybody's like looking at you like, oh, so, you know, this is like, is this a camp? You're like, oh no, this is my family. Like, oh, wow. Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah,
So when you got into the music side of things, was it nice having a family of that size?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I have a lot of big fans because I have a lot of siblings. So it's nice and you know, in that aspect, because I have a lot of people rooting me on, you know, and cheering for me. So a lot of support.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were getting into the career, so to speak, and you're writing songs, I mean, who were some of your influences?
I really love George Strait. I love Shaina Twain, the Dixie Chicks. Some of my other influences, I would say, that are just from a songwriting perspective, are Adele, Ed Sheeran. They're just insane writers, and I love their style of writing. And yeah.
Wow. I mean, okay, now we're back up to where we need to be. So it's gonna get really weird here for a minute or something. Let me see if I can hear you now.
Okay.
Of course, now I have an echo. I got to figure out where that's coming from.
Okay.
All right. So I still have you on the line, right? You can still hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, but I can't hear you. All right. So I just turned one mic off.
Okay.
I apologize. I really do.
No,
Everybody watching, they're like, I've been having a lot of issues lately, and it's about time to throw out the laptop and get a new, just a whole
Yeah.
new computer.
Yeah.
So, but with you, um, when you were first learning to write, I mean, did your family bring in a lot of inspiration to your songwriting?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a song that I wrote about growing up the way that I did, called This Is My Life. It was out on my EP that I released in 2016. And yeah, I wrote it about just growing up like that. And I feel like also growing up with so many different life experiences from each individual gave me a lot of different like stories and inspiration, from that, for sure.
Right. Now let me get back over here because I've got some notes here and I've probably tossed them out of the way in my frustration.
Yeah.
Trying to get things lined up. But you, as you went through life I mean, you're in Nashville by yourself and you go through life and then you decide, hey, it's about time for me to kind of maybe start your own family.
Yeah.
And you got married. Now, how long have you and your husband been married?
We have been married it'll be 7 years, July 19th.
And your daughter her name is Layla, which I love that name, by the way.
Thank you.
How old what is she? 2, 3 years old now?
She's 4.
4.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is an old bio I have on you. That's why I said 3, because it said 2, and I said I'm going to go with 3 just to be safe. And of course,
gotta update that.
So that kind of blew that out of the water. But so what was it like coming from a large family like that? Now you're a mom. What lessons did you learn taking care of these younger siblings?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I definitely I feel like a lot. I don't know. I'm figuring out how to say this. I did have a lot of experience in, watching kids. I mean, because a lot of my siblings were younger than me. So I did watch them quite often. And I feel like it did help me prepare to be a mom just by taking care of them. And, I put them to bed. I fed them dinner some nights, things like that. So like just taking care of somebody else, I had a lot of experience in that. I mean, being a mom, I feel like it was nice to have those things, like already knowing how to take care of somebody else,
Right.
But it still was definitely like, I think for everybody, becoming a mom is like a very rewarding thing, but it's also like it's like it's a lot of pressure. I feel like I feel a lot of responsibility because I'm like I'm responsible for another person's life, and in that case I was too. But they're my siblings. They're not my kid. You know what I mean? So it's right. It like a little bit. You're like okay, I'm responsible for how like this child it like turns out. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's a big responsibility to me. So but it's very rewarding,
Right. And with, I'm getting an echo on my side and not on yours.
Okay.
I'll complain about technical issues all night long. So just bear with me, folks. That's all I can ask is y'all just bear with me and we'll get through this. Now let's talk about the musical career, because when you're growing up and you're in a large family like that, and we talked about kind of your writing influences, did you have a spot where you could go to just kind of write and chill out?
I would say my room. Because most of the time, like when we would go to our rooms in our house, like it was like people were like, okay, I'm in my room, I close my door. Like, yeah, sometimes people come knock on your door, but it was like kind of our safe places, our room. And I would just go in there and I mean, I really didn't really start writing songs until probably high school. And everything I wrote was just definitely not I would never play those songs that I wrote then. but but it was a start for me of just writing down my feelings and like trying to make them rhyme, that type of thing. So that's when I really started, was high school. But yeah, I would just go into my room and just sit on my bed and write down all my feelings on a piece of paper.
So did the family give you a lot of inspiration for your music?
I would say, yeah, a little bit then, probably more now than when I was growing up. But yeah, sometimes I would write about like my sister, going through something. I'd write down the feelings on, a piece of paper. Or, I feel like in high school it was a lot of just different things that I feel like I was experiencing as, a teenager, just writing all that stuff down. And I mean, it definitely had aspects of my siblings in it for sure.
Right. So was the family like all in on this career when you left?
Well, I feel like at first my parents were, they were like, I mean, a little hesitant on it, because it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm leaving school and I'm going to go to Nashville and I'm going to pursue music. And they're like, okay, like that, like maybe like, how are you going to do this exactly? Like any parent would probably do that, because you're like, okay, you need some we need like stability here. Like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? But I think after, I talked to them a little bit about it and just like, this is what I really want to do, they were both on board. And, I moved here, and ever since I decided and they were on board with it, they've been 100% like, go for it,
So it was kind of a reality check for you of, so how are you going to do this? And how are you going to support yourself?
Yeah.
And all that good stuff.
Yeah. So it was just, but, the thing for me is like, with my song Bet on You, I wrote it about moving to Nashville and just following your dreams and betting on yourself. It just, for me, it was like, I have to try, because I feel like a lot of people, we have dreams, and we have things that we really want to do with our lives, but we decide to go the route that seems, maybe not easier, but it seems like the right route, right? Because, the dreams that I have to do this and this, and there's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of unknowns, which is scary. So I feel like we go with the other route, but then one day we wake up and we're like, well, why didn't I really just go for that? And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. At least I tried, at least I went for it. So I can say at the end of my life that I put everything that I had into this one thing, even if I failed, it's like, I tried, you know what I mean? So that's what it was for me. I had to try, because it's my passion. So I'm like, I have to do it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because songwriting, especially to a songwriter, is really important.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the thing that they love to do,
Yeah.
What is one song that you think to yourself, man, why did I not write that song?
Oh, that's a really good question. There's so many. Okay. One that just came to my head though is The House That Built Me.
Mm.
The Miranda Lambert song. Oh, that song is just, it's so well written, and it's like, it just hits you right in the heart, and you're like, oh man, I wish I wrote that song.
Yeah, it's one of those that I think a lot of female artists feel that way with that song. They're like,
Yeah,
that's the song to really to kind of pull you in.
yes.
let me see here. What I'm going to kind of jump ahead. I usually have this structured in my head how I'm going to do this, but I'm a little bit frazzled tonight. So
Yeah.
bear with me. But, if you could go on tour with any artist, I can tell you've already thought this out before.
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Definitely Miranda Lambert, 100%. Casey Musgraves, George Strait. Yeah, I have a lot, but
You want to go on a festival tour?
Yes,
is what
I
you
need
want to go on, where you're like with all of them. I got you.
Yeah.
So, if you got to the point in your career where you could make that decision as to who was going to open for you
Yeah.
and go on tour with you, what one artist would you pick to open up for you?
Oh, that's hard. Huh. Let's go with that is a hard, that's to open up for me. I feel like that's like, because I'm definitely going to be the opener for like somebody like Miranda or like Casey Musgraves. Like,
the best part about that question is it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse, as my dad used to say, you know. And there's no wrong answer. I mean, Miranda only watches every other week, so she's probably not going to see this if you say you want her to open for you.
Oh, funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I just have like, to open for me. Let's say, let me try to think. I don't know why this is so hard for me.
Just keep in mind you're not going to offend anybody. So I think that's what a lot of people think. They're like, I'm going to offend somebody by going, "He open for you."
Open for me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can go with Miranda or, I don't know, Casey Musgraves, maybe. We'll go with the ones that I would like to play at their concerts.
There you go. There you go. They'll return you. You can return the favor for them. How's that?
Yeah.
Right. So if you say you are out on a desert island, you're by yourself, and you can only have one thing with you. What one thing are you going to have with you?
Is this like a survival situation? Like I have to survive? Like what's my one thing? Or like one thing I just really love that I need to have?
You know, that I've never had that question posed back to me. So I guess it would be whichever one you feel more comfortable answering.
Okay.
Is that not a generic answer to that, or what?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I couldn't live without, basically.
Right.
Like a desert. I've never. Let's say for the survival one, I'd say water. No, because there's probably water. No, it's desert, so there's no water. All right, water. And then food-wise, I mean, if I had like an unlimited supply of pizza, I think I'd be pretty good.
There you go.
If I had water and some pizza on a desert island, I think I'd be good.
That's a good one, though. I like that. Now, let's talk about because I don't know if the song is going to play due to the issues we're having here. I'm going to give it one more try.
Okay.
I can hear it, but I don't know if you can.
Wait, I think I just heard it for a second.
What's that?
I think I just heard it for a second when you played it. Are you playing it now?
Was that it? Let me turn it up. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Wait, I heard it. I can hear it. Yeah.
All right, that was Chandler Stephens and Sunshine State of Mind. I don't know if I don't feel like I'm hearing anything now. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Try that.
Got it.
There's too many moving parts in one of these.
Yeah.
So it's just like throwing everything off.
Yeah.
But you with that song, I mean, it is first off, it was a natural for it to be called that, being as how you're from Florida, Sunshine State. I mean, I'm sure I probably just absolutely wowed everybody with my intelligence to be able to say Florida, Sunshine State. Hey, she did a play on words there. That was great.
Yeah.
I can do that occasionally. But you well, where did the song come from? Was that just something you're sitting around one day and you go, oh, start writing, or where did the idea and the inspiration all that come from?
Well, one day I was just like playing around on my guitar and I was sitting on the front porch, and it was really hot, and it was during the summer, and I just started playing around with this idea of you keep me in a sunshine state of mind, and I messed around with it a little bit, had a couple lyrics to it, and I went into a writing session with Mariah Dombey and Eric Dodd, and I brought that idea, and I was like, hey, I have this idea, like you keep me in the sunshine state of mind. And they're like, oh, we love that. So we just kind of went with the idea, and it turned into what it turned into, which is, a love song saying, you like, I'm always in like the right place when I'm with you. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's a very catchy tune. I will say that. I like the tempo of it. Very upbeat, very sunshine sounding, as a matter of fact. And I'm sure that was by design too. Ooh, look
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's a really good song. Now I have to say this because I did listen to some of your Spotify.
Yeah.
And you've got a song in there that I have to admit is one of my all-time favorite songs.
Yeah.
And it's by Don Henley.
Yes.
And if you know who the Eagles are, you know who Don Henley is. But
yes.
Boys of Summer. And when I heard that, I was like, when I saw it, I thought, oh, okay, she's written a song called Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
And then I hear the first notes. That guitar lick in there is like so distinct. It's kind of like In the Air Tonight,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And you pulled it off really well. Because a lot of times, I think a lot of people kind of have a bit of a hesitancy to do a cover of that magnitude.
Oh, yeah.
But you.
Yeah, I definitely did at first, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I was like, gotta do this song justice. Like you can't do this and not do it justice. So it was definitely nerve-wracking, but thank you.
Oh yeah. It when I was listening to it, I'm just like, man, I've never heard that. I mean, you didn't waver. I'm sorry, I keep putting my thumb over the camera there. You didn't waver from the original a whole lot, other than just your voice. And there was a little bit more. I don't want to say twang in it, not in your voice, but it had a little bit of a country feel.
Yeah, in the music, yeah.
Yeah, but it was still Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
And I think your producer is the one, because you were like, oh, I want to do, you needed an extra song on your EP.
Yes.
And so you thought, well, let's put on some classic rock song.
Yes.
And was that,
yeah.
What was the song you were thinking when you said that before your producer said that?
I didn't really have a specific song in mind. I've always loved like 70s, 80s rock. And my mom was a huge 80s rock band person. Like she loved that music. So I grew up listening to it. And so I just threw that out there because I was like, it'd be different. It's from, a different time, a time that I really love. And I didn't really have a certain one in mind. But I knew I wanted it to be one that wasn't like cliche, I don't know, trying to think of one that would be cliche, but
kind of like a girls just want to have fun or something.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like something that you would expect, like somebody to cover, I wanted it to be something different. And he threw that out, and I was like, that is the perfect option, because no girl has ever released a cover of it before, with a female vocal on it. And I mean, I was definitely like, okay, we'll see if I can do this. but I love it, but we'll try it out.
Yeah. If you haven't heard it yet, by all means, go to Chandler's Spotify and look it up, because if you're a fan of that song, I mean, I love the Eagles regardless, whether they're together, whether they were, separate doing their solo careers. I just love the Eagles. but that was one of my favorite songs that Don Henley ever had a hand in.
Yeah.
And if you go and listen to that song, you're going to be going, wow. I promise you, if the word wow does not come out of your mouth, you're listening to the wrong song.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. And now the other songs that you have on there, now your producer is on the EP was Dan Frizzell, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because when I saw
Yes.
Frizzell, I had to look at it twice to make sure it wasn't David Frizzell.
Yeah.
I know that can't be right.
No.
But how how is he to work with?
Awesome. I mean, he has like such a great vision for each song, and he really, I mean, if you're looking for a producer who really cares about the music as much as you do, he's definitely the person to go to. I mean, like, he put so much time in with me with each song to where we got it to exactly what, you know, how I wanted it to feel. And he was awesome to work with. Yeah.
That's great, because
sorry.
No, I'm getting this kind of a lag here, so if I step on top of you, I apologize. I'm not normally that way. But I listened to all the songs that you had on Spotify, which I'm assuming, I mean, they were the ones you had on your EP, and I listened to them.
Yeah.
They all are so, I mean, they're just good.
Thank you.
You're kind of like a roller coaster ride with the tempos, which is good. You know, you put that out. You want everybody to kind of have their highs and their lows, and their, you know, get in their feels and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And you did really well with that. And so I want to, you know, tell the listeners and the viewers, by all means, go download the EP. Now, what, I didn't catch the title of the EP. I don't think I saw that.
The EP is not fully out yet. We've been releasing singles. Yeah, we've been releasing singles of the EP that we're going to release. I have 2 more songs, and I think we're just going to wrap it up in a nice little EP bow and put it all out. I do not have a release date for that yet. But
okay. Well, for some reason, I was thinking that it was all out there. Maybe it's just the way I read something, but I'm glad it's not, because I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
Thank you.
I'm super excited. Now, what's your performance schedule like right now? Do you play a lot of places in Nashville?
Yes. I mean, during COVID, nothing. And then now it's finally starting to get back into the swing of things. And I've been doing a lot of writers' rounds in Nashville. I just recently, well, yesterday, actually did my first actual acoustic set by myself for like a 30-45-minute set, which was really nice because I haven't done one of those since before COVID. So, but hopefully I'll have more of those soon. And if I do, I'll put them up on my website. So,
well, what's your favorite writers round or venue that you've played so far? What's the one that really gets you amped up that you just want to go back?
My favorite, I would say, I just played the Sutler for the first time yesterday, and I love that venue. It's just it's a really cool vibe, and yeah, I really like it. If I had to pick another one, I would say yeah, I mean, maybe I'll just go with the Sutler. I like playing Live Oak too. It's on Demumbrian. It's a really cool place. I like playing that one a lot too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and they're all, I mean, there's no bad place to find music in Nashville, whether it's to play or to listen. So, so that always makes it nice.
Very true. You can walk in any bar and you're going to hear good music. So
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's Nashville.
Absolutely. Now, if they want to find you, like
Yeah.
your social media, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the best place to do that is to go to the website and then they can link from there.
Yes. If you go to my website, there's a little bar that has all the Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. So you just click those and it should take you right to the page.
Have you hopped on the TikTok
But if
craze
they did
yet?
want to search on it, I
Okay.
am. I'm on TikTok. I'm not very good at posting on TikTok, but I am on TikTok. Trying to get my TikTok game up.
That's a hard one. I mean, there's so many people and they do so much, and but the likes on TikTok, if you do, like if you did a mini video of Boys of Summer,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna get multiple 100,000 likes on that thing.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the world's gonna watch because that's just gonna be me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm, I'm telling you, that is really you do such a good job on that. I had it. I pretty much had it on loop on that one song today, just listening over and over, over. And then I thought, well, I got to listen to the rest because I have to have something else to talk about.
That's funny.
So,
no, thank you. That's awesome.
What does the future hold for you? You've got a couple more songs on the EP. You said you're going to wrap up and tie a bow on it and say, here you are.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
When that happens, what are you hoping to do next?
I mean, I've been writing a lot this year, and then even like during last part of 2020. Not so much during COVID. I kind of lost a lot of inspiration during COVID, but I've been writing a lot since then, and I would say maybe 2 or 3 songs that I really like that I'm probably gonna record. I'm gonna try to get a couple more, and then maybe just release some more music. So,
well, that will be good because I can't wait. Like I said, everything that you have on Spotify right now, which again I thought was the whole EP I'd listened to.
yeah,
You had a couple. Well, now let me go back because I have to say this. If anybody recognizes your name, you did have a song that you did as a duet
yes,
with a certain pop country star
yes,
that everybody knows. And well, like Kane, what was his name? Kane Brown, something like that. Yeah, that's the guy, Kane Brown.
yes.
Tell me how that came about.
Well, the person I was working with at the time knew Kane and was just like, he was kind of blowing up all over social media, and he was like, I think that you guys would like really get along writing together, and let's maybe just set this up and see, how that goes. So we got in a writing room, and we wrote Can't Stop Love. It was me and Kane, and then our friend Nate Montgomery, who also knew both of us. And I can't even remember, because I was like, I released that in 2016. I released the EP in 2016, and that was on it. I think I also released that as a single though as well in 2016. And we just, I don't really remember how it came about, but I think when we first went in the room, it was like, we kind of played it off of our personalities a little bit, like the song and how we would write it. And kind of came to You Can't Stop Love. We painted the picture of, the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, like it says in the song, like the bad boy with, right. The girl next door type situation, and it kind of just blossomed into this, like, that type of thing. And how you can't stop love. You know, it doesn't matter what you do. Your parents can try to break you apart, and they can try to, you know, say you can't be with that person, but if you love that person, you're gonna be with them. So whether it's the right or wrong decision, you're gonna be with them.
Kind of like a modern day Romeo and Juliet story.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. So,
and it's a good song. I mean, again, all the songs I've listened to that you had on there, and I mean, I'm sure, you know, Kane blowing up like he has, and I'm sure it hasn't hurt your feelings as to how well it's helped the song.
No.
You know, it's done really well on the Spotify streams that I've seen.
Yeah.
Everything else I'm not sure about, but I know Spotify has just done super good with that.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's been nice to have that one because he's skyrocketed. So
right.
Yeah, and I love that song. I mean, I've always loved it since we wrote it. So
right.
Yeah.
So very, like I said, very good. All your songs are good. I don't normally say that I can say a bad thing about an artist's songs, but I can, and I really can't on most of them. But I can truly say that I don't have a bad word to say about any of yours. I don't even feel comfortable critiquing them because they're so good. You know, I feel like somebody's going to go, he has no clue what he's talking about.
Thank you.
So I'm really excited to hear more from you and look into the future. I'll be glad whenever you get the EP finished. Not that I'm going to stop listening to the Spotify. So over the next few weeks, that other 10,000 streams per song that you see, you know.
Yeah, awesome. That's amazing.
They send you those, you know, that 0.03 cents per song.
Yeah.
It'll add up.
Yes, it will. You just keep streaming it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keep right on doing it. Keep right on doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for coming on tonight. And I feel like it's been a really good interview. You've been such a trooper with all the things that Mother Nature and Captain Technology have thrown at us tonight, and you've done such a good.
Yeah, it's no problem.
You've done really well, and so I really appreciate it. But again, go check out it's chandlerstephens.com. Follow her on social media. Follow her on Instagram and Facebook, and like she said, you can follow her on TikTok, and it may be a while, but she will eventually get there. It takes time. It really does, you know. But I'm a big Instagram guy. I have TikTok, and basically my TikTok is just audiograms of every show.
Yeah.
I don't do anything aside from that. And you can also, I mean, you'll be able to find this on Spotify, Apple iTunes, all that stuff. So there's some more, you know, recognition streams for you anyway. We hope. But Chandler, thanks for coming on tonight. You've been so gracious, and I appreciate your willingness to bear with me here tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so be sure to check out Chandler, all the streaming platforms. Go check out her music, go check out her website. And again, you can follow b4Nashville on the streaming platforms. Coming up on Monday night is actually a, I guess, publicist partner of yours, Sydney Mack, is going to be on Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
So awesome. You can warn her as to what might happen. Just to give her a heads up. I'll be more prepared. I'll make sure I've got everything. I'll have the backup set up going by then. But again, thank you so much. This has been b4Nashville, where we introduce the country stars of tomorrow to the country fans of today with Chandler Stephens. Chandler, again, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.